Billions of fans, billions of dollars, and billions of lies. FIFA calls itself the guardian of the beautiful game. But behind every World Cup, every anthem, and every goal you've ever celebrated, there's a darker story. One built on greed, politics, and unchecked power. For decades, FIFA's image has been wrapped in flags and trophies, yet beneath that shine lies an organization accused of corruption on a global scale. From secret bribes to scandalous World Cup bids, from backroom deals to billion-dollar sponsorships, this isn't just football anymore. It's a political empire that's learned how to play the world's most popular sport for profit. They tell us football unites nations, but when you follow the money, it exposes a system that divides honesty from hypocrisy. This is the story FIFA doesn't want you to hear. This is the dark side of world football, and it's still running the game we love. To understand how FIFA got so powerful and so corrupt, you first have to understand what it actually is. FIFA, short for Fédération Internationale de Football Association, is the governing body that controls global football. It oversees everything from the rules of the game to the biggest tournament on the planet, the FIFA World Cup. With 211 member associations, FIFA actually has more members than the United Nations. That means it represents almost every country on Earth, each with a vote and each dependent on FIFA's approval and funding. The organization controls billions in broadcasting rights, sponsorship deals, and ticket revenues. Just the 2022 World Cup in Qatar generated over $7.5 billion in revenue, the highest in history. Most of that money flows through FIFA's hands, distributed through a network of regional federations and development grants, often with little transparency. FIFA operates like a government without borders. It sets the rules, enforces them, and punishes those who disobey. But unlike real governments, FIFA answers to no voters, no parliaments, and no courts. Its decisions are final. Its leadership, often selected through secretive voting, holds immense power over countries desperate for international recognition or hosting rights. So the real question isn't just what FIFA is, it's who really runs it, and why is it so untouchable? If football is the world's game, then FIFA is the banker that cashes every goal. Over the last 4 decades, this organization has turned sport into one of the most profitable industries on the planet. Let's put the numbers into perspective. During the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, FIFA earned $7.5 billion in revenue, an all-time record. That includes money from TV broadcasting rights, sponsorship deals with giants like Adidas, Coca-Cola, and Visa, as well as ticketing, licensing, and hospitality. And yet, FIFA officially calls itself a non-profit organization. That's right. Despite generating billions, it's technically registered as a non-profit under Swiss law, meaning most of that money is tax-free. Now, where does all that money go? FIFA claims it reinvests revenue into football development, funding grassroots programs and supporting smaller nations. On paper, that sounds noble. But in practice, the distribution of those funds often lacks transparency. The same regional associations that vote in FIFA elections receive large development grants, which critics argue are used to buy loyalty rather than grow the game. Take the 2015 corruption scandal uncovered by the U.S. Department of Justice. Investigators found that FIFA officials had accepted over $150 million in bribes and kickbacks related to media and marketing rights for major tournaments. These weren't isolated incidents. This was a pattern stretching back decades. Officials from South America to Africa were accused of taking payments in exchange for votes and contracts. And while dozens were arrested, including senior executives, the system itself survived untouched. FIFA rebranded, reshuffled leadership, and moved on, all while continuing to rake in record profits. The reason is simple. FIFA controls football's biggest product, the World Cup. Every 4 years, nations compete not just on the pitch, but in the boardrooms for hosting rights. These bids bring billions in potential revenue, infrastructure investment, and global prestige. That gives FIFA enormous leverage over governments. When a country wins the right to host, they don't just celebrate. They often bend their laws to meet FIFA's demands. For example, host nations have been required to create tax-free zones for FIFA sponsors and officials, and even suspend certain labor or alcohol laws during tournaments. That's not just sports influence. That's political power. The irony is staggering. FIFA presents itself as the moral compass of world football, preaching unity and fair play. But behind closed doors, it operates like a multinational corporation, one that answers to no regulator, no court, and certainly not to the fans. The money has become both FIFA's lifeblood and its weapon. It funds loyalty, silences critics, and ensures that every World Cup, no matter how controversial, still fills their vaults. At this point, it's not even about the love of the game. It's about owning the game and making sure nobody else ever can. For decades, whispers of corruption surrounded FIFA. Secret payments, rigged votes, and cozy deals hidden behind polished press conferences. But in 2015, the whispers turned into a global storm. It started early one morning in May. At a luxury hotel in Zurich, Swiss police officers, acting on orders from the U.S. Department of Justice, stormed in and arrested several top FIFA officials. The charges? Racketeering, wire fraud, and money laundering. The world's most powerful football organization was suddenly being treated like a criminal cartel. The investigation revealed staggering details. U.S. prosecutors uncovered over $150 million in bribes and kickbacks, paid out over more than 2 decades. Senior officials from both CONMEBOL, South America, and CONCACAF, North and Central America, were accused of selling their votes for hosting rights and commercial contracts. One of the key figures was Jack Warner, a vice president from Trinidad and Tobago, who allegedly accepted millions in bribes connected to World Cup bids and TV rights. Another, Jeffrey Webb, the head of CONCACAF, was arrested and later pleaded guilty to multiple charges. And the man at the top, Sepp Blatter, FIFA's longtime president, claimed ignorance. But few believed him. During his 17-year reign, Blatter had built a power network so deep that loyalty mattered more than ethics. He survived scandal after scandal, until 2015 finally brought his empire crashing down. But the corruption didn't start there. The roots go much deeper. Take the 2010 World Cup, hosted by South Africa. Later investigations revealed that South African officials had allegedly paid $10 million in bribes to secure votes. The money was disguised as a development grant, but emails and testimonies suggested otherwise. Then came the Qatar 2022 controversy, perhaps FIFA's most infamous decision. When Qatar, a tiny desert nation with no football history, won the right to host the World Cup, the world was stunned. The US, Japan, South Korea, and Australia had all submitted technically superior bids. So how did Qatar win? Multiple reports, including investigations by the Sunday Times and The Guardian, suggested millions in under-the-table payments to key FIFA executives in exchange for votes. Later, FIFA's own ethics committee admitted irregularities but cleared the bid anyway. And then came the human cost. To prepare for the tournament, Qatar embarked on a massive construction drive. Stadiums, hotels, transport networks, all built by migrant workers. Reports by Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch documented poor living conditions, withheld wages, and even worker deaths. Yet FIFA pressed forward, insisting it had no control over the host country's labor laws. Even after all of this, arrests, confessions, outrage, FIFA barely changed. Yes, they replaced Blatter with Gianni Infantino, a fresh face promising transparency and reform. But many critics say it's business as usual. In 2022, Infantino was caught defending Qatar's hosting decision, even going as far as to accuse critics of hypocrisy. It was a reminder that FIFA's corruption isn't about a few bad people. It's a system, one that rewards loyalty, punishes whistleblowers, and protects itself better than any political institution on earth. By now, fans had seen too much to stay naive. What was once the beautiful game was starting to look like the world's most profitable con. After the 2015 scandal, FIFA promised change. They created new ethics committees, suspended old officials, and rolled out PR campaigns about transparency. But peel back the new logo and slogans, and you'll find the same power structure untouched. Today, FIFA still operates as a self-governing body with no real external oversight. Its internal investigations are handled by people it appoints. The president still controls billions in funding, deciding which nations receive development money, often to keep political loyalty intact. Gianni Infantino, who replaced Sepp Blatter, vowed reform but quickly followed the same path, forming close ties with authoritarian regimes, pushing for expanded tournaments, and dismissing critics as racist or hypocritical. FIFA's playbook didn't change, it just got better at marketing. And as long as countries are desperate to host the World Cup and brands are willing to pay billions for sponsorships, FIFA will remain untouchable. Because in football, money doesn't follow integrity, it follows power. FIFA likes to say it represents the spirit of football, passion, unity, and fair play. But the truth is, it represents something else entirely. Control. The arrests came and went. The headlines faded. But the system survived. Because FIFA doesn't need to play the game. It owns it.